She continues to explain that the roof is. She already explained that it's where the ritual to free Tiamat was. She
Yeah.
did. Ritual site. And then the final person, she says, as the other, essentially, right hand man being Crawl, left hand man being this gentleman. She draws a picture of this individual, tells you his name is Torgar Steelfist.
It looks cool.
Why do all of these people look so much bigger?
Bigger and badder than us. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be the Lord of Blades. Man, that guy had so many legendary actions.
There's actually people with more, believe it or not.
This is where I'd put my legendary action if I had one.
He had 3, and there's some people out there with 5. All right, as she explains all this, what are you guys doing? Are you saying anything?
No, is she done speaking?
No, I'm kind of asking if you have any questions or anything, or is she going to go to a different topic because she has more information about other stuff? She's
I'm
like,
good.
what I'm saying is she's looking at you guys like raised eyebrow. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
How much do you know of Mythalars?
0.
She
Just
like
assume that we know nothing.
she rubs her forehead. So our trail was perfectly successful then.
Yeah.
Mythalars are ancient Netherese magic orbs of concentrated weave, where it itself is like a self-supporting weave. Whether the shadow weave nor the weave collapse, these Mythalars themselves will always be sustained so long as they're not destroyed. They also have an immense radius around them. There are not many in the world left. Only 2 known of. Chosen of Shar, we have intel. One is in Mithranor, and we had the other at the Shade Enclave. It is the magical relic that keeps the city afloat and powers all of the city and the surrounding area. Items crafted, artificed in the city, connected to the Mythalar, gain additional benefits and powers by being in proximity to the source of power.
So, I'm guessing there's multiple of these, right?
There's 2 known in the world currently, but I'm sure more exist somewhere. They just have not been discovered. There once was many back when the Netherese was a thriving population. Each floating city, in fact, was supported by its own Mythalar.
Has there been any rumors of the Netherese city that we saw from the beginning?
That was the Shade Enclave she was talking about that has the second Mythalar, where
Yeah,
Mr. Nor has the other one.
but where is it currently?
It is currently on its way to Ordlin to make the capital yield defeat the Shade Enclave for a new king to take over Sembia. Have you guys been to Mithranor?
No.
Not yet. Mister told us to go there, though.
She nods. I'm shocked you haven't been. Our intel wasn't exact, but it seems that your situation is worse than even our intel let on.
But what's the big push to rush off to Mr. Nor? Are we supposed to like stop them from taking over the crown?
Where our big level up is. Where our
yeah,
powers are unlocked.
That.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure the reason that you need to go to Nor, but I do know from Chosen of Shar and T-Mat's side that is assumed to be your base of operations, and after Ordelin and some convening with the Wizards of Thay, next target.
I'm gonna look over to Raphael. What do you know of Mr. Nor and our purpose there?
I know that I meant to escort you there, that the Seven Sisters are there and meant to conduct a ritual to activate a power residing deep and sleeping within you.
I do like awakened powers. That sounds pretty fun.
Sounds like more of a standing chance.
Mariah
Anyone-
shuts the doors.
Anyone
Over
else
and
want to
join.
chip in and say anything, or? I feel like I monopolize these conversations too much, and someone else needs to speak.
The other three are being quiet.
Yeah. Seems good.
I'm just trying to take in as much information. Kind of like,
You're cutting out real bad.
I don't know why. Did you hear what I said though?
No.
I said that I'm just kind of sitting back getting whatever information I can. And considering she is his sister, I'm kind of letting him take the lead on it.
I see.
Well, since you guys have been here in Shadowdale, have you seen any other survivors?
She looks down, kind of frustrated. No. Lord of Blades doesn't often leave survivors, and this place, anyone who remained was foolish anyway. Those orcs and those elves fighting. It was a bloodbath out there.
No one left at the college either.
She shakes her head frustratedly. Not that I've seen, but our patrols had to be rather cautious with him out there. I'm lucky I found them. I don't think he would have been able to crawl that pile of sludge any further if he tried.
Well, it sounds like we have our next destination.
How are we going about getting there? I see you have some flying beasts. Is that
Oh, we have-
to support all of us?
We have more than just some flying beasts.
Oh, I didn't tell you, Mariah says, trying to kind of pull himself out of a depressing thought. The ship is actually to go, I believe, if these people did their jobs. Pointing over. Mic's off. Runs in the family.
Yeah, it does. I would turn to him and say excitedly, "We flew here on it."
He turns and looks at you. Tammy got it up and running.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to decipher the text. Hot damn, look at that gnome.
Yeah, she's one smart cookie.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't have been able to do it, but thank God she could.
I would jump on his back as he was walking around me.
He lets out like a feminine. Unhand me, you beast.
Take that back.
I take it back. Jeez.
And then I'd give him like my knuckles on the top of his head and get down.
Ow, 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 ow.
Well,
Watch it.
if there's no reason to stick around this city and there's no saving to be done of anyone, maybe we should all head out and board the ship.
Yes. Who wants to go with me on my griffin?
The room is silent. Raphael sheepishly raises the one free hand he has. I guess I can. I don't
Alright,
feel
then.
like I don't feel like walking, and he kind of starts hopping over towards you.
So I go over and I give him a hand and lift him
What?
up to stop him from wobbling a little bit,
Ah, thank you.
and proceed to head out to my griffin.
I thought I
Little
raised a
pogo stick.
more respectable pupil, but I suppose a family reunion is an excuse. As he like makes his way down the stairs. Wow. He like takes in the beast. He's like completely flabbergasted by it. Not every day you see 4 griffins in one place. And he walks forward.
Pretty cool, aren't they?
Magnificent. Well, Thorin
Is it-
says, pushing up on himself, and he kind of bounces a little bit, bending his knees extra, happy that he has this rigid form within his body. Must be getting going then, eh, boy? And he gives you a little bit of a shove.
Yeah. I like small elbow. Head with him.
I'll reach out to pat Stella on the neck. I'm like, yeah, to think. Just a few weeks ago, they used to be horses. They grow up so fast.
Raphael looks over. You're going to have to tell me about that one on the way.
I would turn to Carmina and say you can either ride with Emis, or if that makes you uncomfortable, you can ride with me. Mariyah, you get the other one. Whichever
She-
one she's not on.
She gives a half-hearted smirk. As long as he's bathed, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I don't know if he's bathed and I'm wild. He didn't even like the bathhouse. I shudder.
She comes out. Emis. Mind?
I reach her arm out and help her up.
She smiles and grabs a hold, and elegantly, with a very strong core, you can tell just by her hoisting herself up that she's formidable in combat. Brother and sister, get on your griffin.
That means Mariyah's with me.
And
Butters to you.
nobody wanted to ride with the
Don't smell
Bugbear,
much
huh?
better.
Thorin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just kind of assumed.
Yeah, father and son. Okay, and we're all heading off to the ship to go to Mithranor.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Dun, 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 dun. Ah! Oh!
Did you throw us all in the water?
No. Threw at us on the ground.
So I threw it on the ground. That's not
Okay.
my dad. That's a cell phone.
As you approach the ship to get on,
Are you also looking for it?
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Did you know where it was the whole time?
No.
It took me a second.
Clamacy, you see what looks like a small shadow scurrying underneath the ship, kind of circularly.
I would swoop down to go look at that. Does it look like the cat shadow?
As you start gliding down, everyone else heading to the ship, Mariah's like, no, up. What are you doing, beast? Up. And he's like squeezing his legs. Are you making it do this?
Yes.
And he lands and he kind of takes a look. Are you dismounting to check it out or what?
Yeah. I would say that I would tell Akasi that he could take Mariyah up while I go look at this.
As you say that, Mariyah responds with, "Oh no, don't leave me on this beast alone!" Ah! And the Akasi starts taking off in flight up towards the ship. You approach the shadow, and a kind of blackish cat forms up out of the pool of darkness on the ground.
I'm
the-
ready myself to interpret.
Cat sits in front of you, begins with its white-tipped ears and white-tipped tail, creating out signals in a code that you understand, and it responds. You want me to type it to you, or does everyone want to hear?
Well, if we're
I'm-
allowed to hear, I'd love
Yeah,
to.
I'm fine with you just saying out loud.
Have we ever seen this cat before?
We made it to the Star Mountain safely. I think we found something of intrigue, but another group arrived. Formidable. So we're currently the outpost of the entrance, maintaining watch. Shall we proceed in?
Hmm. I would say yes, but only if you deem it safe enough that you won't be cornered when you try to come back out.
The cat watches your signals for a moment. And watches it kind of disappears into a puddle and goes rocketing off to the west.
And I'll stand there and just wait for Akasi to come back down.
So probably about 5 minutes later, with how long it would have taken Mariah to get off with his shaky legs, your bird comes back down, grabs you, and brings you up to the ship. And you guys see a excited Tammy on board. Oh, we've got guests. We don't have enough provisions for everyone.
Don't worry about that. I can help with that.
Okay. Where to, Captain? She says.
I need to go to the map and look at which direction we need to go.
Um,
There it is.
just as Tammy had said that, I begin to conjure up and cast create food and water.
Ooh, neat.
And I
What level spell is that?
It is a second level or third level spell,
Nice.
and I can create 45 pounds of water and 30 gallons of water.
45 pounds of food and
Yes,
30
pounds of food
water.
and 30 pounds of water.
nice. All right.
Looking at the map, which direction from here does Mithranor look like it is?
It is actually not that far northeast.
Alright, we are gonna go northeastward to Mithranor.
She reaches into her rune pouch of powder and she starts etching along the runes. And you hear Mariah look and he goes, "Oh, no, that's entirely inefficient." And the whole ship goes, and kind of like arches aggressively off to the right and begins moving forward with a lunge. And you guys begin making your way towards Mithranor.
I would like to take this opportunity to run down to see if we have any water in the showering area and take a quick shower.
It does look like the barrel down there is currently stocked plumb full of water.
Boogie, is there any way that you can draw some armor or some saddles for our griffins?
Also, how many arrows are you going to draw for yourself?
Let's go with 13.
Just 13 arrows? I mean, you have 2 hours to draw arrows. Or not 2 hours, it's like an hour.
23.
Hold his leg.
Okay. And what are you drawing for Bezoit?
So I don't know. I can I can draw the hard part of the saddles, but we might need to get some sort of leather straps in order to make it into a real saddle.
Okay, I see what you're going for. Um. Okay, go ahead and make a calligraphy check for me, or whatever you want to. What's that called? Your cartographers?
Photography.
Maybe calligraphy. No, it's not. I said
Okay.
calligraphy already.
It's a 19 unless I also add my dex or something else.
So you add your proficiency bonus because you have the tools to do so.
Cool. 19.
Sweet. Yeah, you're able to draw up and come up with a pretty solid idea with what you had envisioned. The softer materials, you're still gonna have to explain to me where you're gonna get those from, but the wooden components of the saddle seem to be pretty sound.
So downstairs in the bottom of the ship, don't we have some supplies that we put some leather and
You guys have
cotton and
canvas.
things?
I don't know about leather.
Oh, I don't know if canvas is sturdy enough. That's more like
Check.
making a flag out of it. Although,
Or a tent?
if you can make a what's it called? If you can make a mast out of canvas, then maybe you could. I don't know how sturdy
Yeah.
it'd be, but I'm sure it
I
would
would-
work at least for a
I would-
while.
Like to go downstairs and try to forge some materials. Let me look to see what I have here. Get the canvas and maybe some cotton and see if I can't maybe double up this canvas and sew something together that would go over tautly over the saddles.
Okay.
I'll do what I can to help.
What kind of check would that be?
There used to be a crafting skill. You just
Yeah, well, D&D used to be cooler. Okay, I just need you to make a roll a d20 for me, please.
D20. Do I get to add anything to it?
No.
I rolled an
So
11.
I'm trying to help her.
Is that at advantage?
No,
Roll again.
I got a 9.
Your highest is an 11.
Yes, sir.
That you would be stable. Okay. They're serviceable, but you get the feeling that over time they're probably going to deteriorate quickly.
Right, right.
As you guys are working on that, about 40 minutes into the trip, you can see the thick mist surrounding Camanthor in the distance as you approach.
during this
forest.
trip, Emus is going to kind of wincing at his bruised chest and stuff. He's going to go for a quick lay down.
Okay.
Yeah, how long is this trip?
About an hour, hour and a half.
Mm.
After my shower, I'd go sit up by the griffins and just dry off in the wind as we move. My hammock.
That's gonna be brisk and chilly.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, not everything copied in. I don't know if there's like a maximum copy limit or something. I gotta work
It's fair.
fix it. As you guys approach, feel the ship kind of slowing down as she traces, and the ship starts like gliding more than it is propelling itself towards the mist. visibility's low, so she starts approaching it very cautiously.
And Emus takes another stab at trying to predict the weather.
Okay.
What was it? At advantage?
Nature
What is the
check,
book?
yeah. Advantage.
First roll 19, second roll 11.
It is currently kind of a moist, like it's not raining, but it's got that
There's high humidity in the air.
kind of like how it was yesterday, Caitlin. It's kind of cool, overcast. There's like a misting. It's not a rain, but there's just mist in the air.
Mm.
And as you guys approach the thick fog, the front of the ship kind of stops against the fog, and the ship shudders a little bit as it tries to enter again. And she cuts the engines, like forward engines, and the ship seems to kind of have resistance against the fog.
Is it like magical
What?
fog or is it natural?
The fog seems almost like a wall of fog. Like it doesn't seem kind of naturally dispersed and slowly dissipates. It's like right up on the border of the forest.
How far did we make it?
You guys are right on the border. You're like on the forest edge with the fog. Like Hermanthor, like Mithnor is in this forest. You're at the forest's edge.
Interesting. What's the name of this forest? Just out of curiosity.
Hermanthor.
Oh, that is okay. Just the term works. All right.
I'll send you a little wiki about it.
So I'll go to the very front of the ship and throw 3 copper forward.
As you throw the 3 copper forward, they disappear into the mist.
I look over at Tammy and I say, I know that you've been ultra busy, but do you remember that visibility cloak that I gave you that was burned up a bit? Did you ever have a chance to repair that for me?
Oh shit! No, I'm sorry.
No. You've been very busy. I just was curious.
Do you know what's going on up here? And there's another as she tries to push through the fog.
I'm willing to bet it's some kind of barrier. We might have to walk from here.
Emus,
It seems like coins went forward.
Emus,
Coins
a
aren't
spine crawls up your skin and your hair begins to stand up all over your body.
Spine crawls up my skin?
No,
You mean a chill runs up my spine?
I thought that's what I said.
No.
A spine, a walking spine. He has a little face on it too, and he goes.
That's fucking terrifying.
Are you changing maps, Michael, or are we just gonna stay?
Oh, you're gonna stay here for a second.
Okay, so we're doing theater. Theater of the night.
I don't know there's much that I can do to contribute to the situation.
Boogie, you see almost like a teal flash of light deep into the fog, and you feel this intense, powerful presence.
Okay.
What's our elevation right now, like roughly?
You guys are probably about 400 foot up off the ground.
So intense in what way? Does it like seem dangerous or
Not
like-
malicious. It is dangerous in the sense of like if you were standing near, like if you could harness a jar of lightning and it was just constantly sparking around the jar, it's not inherently like gonna hurt you or anything, but if it was pissed off or opened or whatever you want, it's just a very powerful entity.
Guys, I see something strong ahead of us. I go ahead and use Mr. Vision, and at the same time, it looks teal, maybe?
As you use the Mishra Vision, it is almost as if the fog that is around the whole forest becomes like much clearer, and you can see this massive guy that looks like this.
Big boy?
Holy moly. Is this a good guy? Please tell me it's a good.
He stands there maybe 30 foot tall in total, and his wingspan is easily 50 feet. Easy. This intense aura coming off of him. But through the fog, as you're looking with the Mishra Vision, you can actually see in the distance there is a floating city through the fog above the fortress, and there are, even from a distance, you can see what looks like a formation of giants standing on the floating city above the forest.
And how close is this to Myth Dranor?
The floating city?
Yeah, like what we're going in the direction of.
The way it looks, kind of get the feeling that the floating city might be Mithranor.
Oh, okay, cool.
This creature begins to slowly fly his way over to you, towards the edge of the mist.
It looks like maybe there's some kind of big angel or something ahead of us. Then I yell off instead of over my shoulder towards him. Hey, are you a good guy?
He looks at you, and you see these, it's like a divine white flame eyes. Like his eyes are radiating with this intense angelic power. And he looks at you and deems your question unworthy of answering, and simply says, "It took you long enough, but you're finally